Hello, family. Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys are having a great and exceptional day. It's Tuesday. It's turkey season, as they say. So, it's almost that time for a good old Thanksgiving. So, let me know if you guys are going, what you guys have planned for Thanksgiving. And I think I'm going to go live tomorrow on my YouTube and Facebook and talk about Thanksgiving from a family perspective. I was having a conversation today in regards to how so many families don't operate as a corporation, and so many families are still operating like it's 1975 or 1965, where, it's just the father and the mother, they work jobs, or, one parent only works and, the other parent takes care of the kids. And the idea of working as an economic powerhouse structure from a mini level, or from a very gigantic level. But, and the discussion of talking about business and investing money and things of that nature just should be the norm for American families nowadays, regardless if you live in Florida, Texas, or New York, or California, the Carolinas, Georgia, Colorado, Montana, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, wherever, Pennsylvania, Jersey. Doesn't matter. Washington State, Oregon. Everybody should have that kind of mindset and conversation, not just to survive. Well, nowadays it's becoming a part of survival tactics from an economic standpoint, regardless who sit in the White House, governor's house, mayor's house. That's just the way that the game goes. So I think I'm going to go live and talk about that, give my perspective, and hope to hear from others, because I think that's the one thing that's the most atrocious thing that is taking place nowadays, is that more and more families are operating like it's still 1965, when your survival is up for, and I'm talking about working people and poor people, but your survival is up for grabs here right now if you don't start operating like it's 2030, not even 2022 to going into 2023, but 2030. All right. Today's word of the day is bravado. Stands for a bold manner or slow boldness intended to impress or intimidate. I come from the DMV area, and, like any other parts of the United States, has good parts and bad parts. But you have a lot of people, especially working people, who walk around with a lot of arrogance and bravado because they have a overpriced house or overpriced car, but they're barely scraping by. But they're putting on the status of that they're so special and important, whether they live in a high-rise apartment, whether they have a overpriced single-family home, to the newest Tesla. You have a lot of that, the arrogance and bravado that happens. And like any other major city has that, but it makes me laugh even more so when it's a working person doing it. Now, it'd be one thing if it was a person who was a millionaire / billionaire and they made their money passively. But even in that instance, it doesn't take all that nonsense, because it's like I said, I've had family members and friends who want to brag, but they're never talking about how they got it and how others can get it at the same time, because you have this bravado of a mindset of people thinking that, hey, I don't want to give them the secret sauce on how to become successful. I just want to let them know how successful I am, and then brag about it and sound like a blithering idiot and whatnot, and like I'm doing something special and new, like they've created an app or created the next cure for a deadly disease. But they've just achieved upper middle class status and think that's doing something, like it's doing something new, and it's not new. It's like when people brag about doing other things like paying their bills or taking care of their family. Well, hello, you're supposed to do that. Or when I hear parents complaining about the cost of everything, I was like, well, you wanted the kids, you got them. That's just the way the game goes. No, unless somebody put a gun to your head, my mindset in today's world and in tomorrow's world is, if you know more about what's going on from a celebrity standpoint and an entertainment standpoint or political standpoint, but you don't understand the economic standpoint, then you playing the game all wrong. And that's where my bravado comes into play, because I'm like, I need to know the good information before I learn the useless information. That was cool when I was a teenager to know a lot of useless information, but as a grown man, I need to know the useful information. Let's get to the useful stuff and cut out all the nonsense. But that's just my personal opinion on that. And that's what it is. All right, so today's quote of the day is by Karl Popper, and he said, and I quote, "The aim of argument should not but progress." Sorry about that. The aim of the argument should not be victory, but progress. And I could not agree with that statement more. See, when I don't even like to call it an argument. I like to call it a healthy debating conversation, healthy debate. I like to call it that. I like to do that with people, and I don't mind getting other people's perspectives. I don't mind being proven wrong. That's cool. It means you're challenging me, and that means you're thinking for yourself. Right on. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay? You're not just supposed to accept anything I say, and I'm just not supposed to just accept everything that you say. A lot of times when I'm a podcast guy. A lot of times I'm listening to podcasters. A lot of times I can agree with 100%. A lot of times I agree with 80, 70 to 50%. But sometimes I just don't agree with a lot of the things that they're saying at all. But they're challenging me and I'm challenging them. And that's what it's all about. That's that way we're thinking outside of the box. That's why, I laugh at the political nonsense, because on both sides, if you're not talking about the economics and the money that's involved, that to me, my personal opinion, you're not really engaging in the real intellectual conversation of politics. If you're not talking about who's funding what, where the funding is coming from, where the funding is going, et cetera, and so forth. Talk about the economics. Then if you don't understand the economics, then you can never understand politics. That's my mindset. If you don't understand where the money's coming from, if you don't understand how money really dictates all policies, whether people want to believe it or not, then you don't really understand politics. That's just my personal opinion. But that's just, and I don't mind, because a lot of times when you challenge certain people, they get upset to the point where they don't even want to talk anymore. And to me, that's just, I don't want to win the argument. I just want to gather a level of understanding. Arguing with people, having a healthy debate with people, it's not about me winning or losing. It's about me understanding and learning. Like a lot of times certain subject matters will come up and I'll say, that doesn't really apply to me. And sometimes people will say, well, yeah, it does. I was like, well, okay, well, show me, this is what my life is like. So show me how this is actually affecting my day to day. And if you can't show me how it's affecting my day to day, then 9 times out of 10, I'm not really going to care. As they say in Spanish, no importa. I don't care. Okay. If it doesn't affect my day to day, then I don't let it ruin my day. That's what I focus more on now. And I'm happy about that. I want to focus on the things that affect my day to day. That's why I don't listen to 90% of what the media is talking about, because, like I said, when they start dropping bombs in my backyard, let me know. Like if the crazy people and the criminals are in my backyard, let me know. Then that can be news to me. What's affecting the stock market? Let me know. That can be news to me. What's hot? What's the real estate market looking like? That's news to me. Okay, but everything else, that's why I had that rant about Kanye West. What a celebrity or a politician has to say has become way more relevant to me in the last 2 years. I can say that with all sincerity. Well, no, not 2 years, 4 years, to be honest with you. So the last 4 years, it's been very irrelevant to me. And it's not because of who's sitting in these seats. It's because it's about my day to day and what I'm doing. What am I feeding myself from a mental perspective, food perspective, physical perspective, the diet. I never forget this one rapper. He said, the diet, your mental diet is just as important as your actual food diet. What you consume in your mind on a regular basis, affects your brain. So for me, if I'm consuming nothing but negativity, then I'm going to have a negative mindset towards a lot of things. A lot of experiences in my life never would have taken place if I would have listened to the media, whether it was CNN or Fox News. I had to go experience it on my own. That's why so many people live great lives living outside of the United States right now, because they had to go experience it on their own, whether they live in Dubai, whether they live in any parts of Africa, Central South America, or the Caribbean, or any parts of Asia. A lot of people are living, Americans or quote unquote Westerners are living great productive lives in other countries because they did the crazy thing. They turned off the media and they went to go experience it for themselves. And that's the only thing I can employ anyone to do. Don't listen to everybody. Don't just listen to me. Get the experience for yourself. Relationships, friendships, states and cities you visit, countries you visit, want to check out. Go get, as they say, take a leap of faith and go get the experience on your own. Because if you constantly listen to what everybody else in society is saying, then you're going down the wrong freaking road. And so much life is not lived because people want to listen to everybody else instead of experiencing it for themselves. So on that note, do the great theory things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. And as I always say, make money moves or you're going to live broke like a fool. Take care.